This is a pretty deep topic right here, man. I came from a broken family, like really broken. So broken that they don't know what they do. You feel me? Like they so caught up in what they do, they don't know how to change it. You feel me? And once you get to a certain age, it's hard to change it. Like it's hard to go from one thing to a complete 180 to something else, because that's what you know. When you get used to something and it was hard to get into that thing, you got a different type of mindset when it comes to having to leave it. And it's crazy. I was never shown like a two-parent loving household. And love means different things to people. You know, the type of love I needed when I was young was affection, you know, like, you know, I love you, and I mean that because I want you to be great. I want you to succeed. I want you to excel. And the people that I grew up around, they received that through words only. You feel me? It's one thing to speak something, it's another thing to show something. It was a lot of things that I was told not to do, but it was constantly in my vision. You know what I'm saying? Like, the child is a reflection of the parent. You feel what I'm saying? In my case, I took the best parts of my people, you know, and I peeped the bad parts about them. And at first, I didn't understand it. And bad is just it's just a relative term, you know. They obviously don't think the things that they're doing are bad. They're just trying to get to where they want to be. And no matter how what that takes or how they have to do that, you feel me? That's why a lot of people now, you're gonna have to get used to people not taking. Yeah, I mean, you're gonna have to get used to people taking a long way. Like, you're gonna have to get used to it. Snow evading that. You feel me? I just seen a lot of reckless shit go down, and it's crucial. Like, the type of people I grew up around, they'll accept a thief in a second. They'll accept somebody treating them dog way, and then they'll depart, and they'll figure out a way to come back into that person's life just so they could one up. That's all. That's what I've seen. You feel me? Or it's been a huge ass argument, or it's been a huge ass fight. There was a lot of things that were shielded from me when I was a kid. I never knew what was happening a lot of the times. But as I grew, certain parts just start revealing themselves. You feel me? And then it became, oh, well, this is how we're supposed to do it. And I'm a person that likes to understand things. So I'm trying to understand what they're doing in the midst of trying to create my own relationship with God. And there were some things that were just not clicking when it came to this thing here and that thing there. You feel me? It's like, why is it so hard for people to just be good? Why is it so hard for people to just do what they say they want to do? Be who they say they want to be. And it has nothing to do with, well, how do I want to say that? It has nothing to do with, like, it's just hard, or, it's just like you have to choose that, and you have to continue to choose it. And then when somebody does something to you and you have to defend yourself against that, it alters what you're trying to be. It makes it like, why should I be that if nobody else is going to be that to me? And it's like, we can't think like that. Like, fortunately, I won't say unfortunately, because like to raise the vibration, like to raise the frequency for real, you gotta be a certain way, and you gotta be stubborn about that. You gotta stick to your guns for real. Because if you let one of the 99% niggas come in here and fuck some shit up, you gonna be right back with them, and it's gonna be more hard for you, because you can feel things. Like, this is why it's so important for me to follow my intuition. This is why it's so important for me to follow those higher feelings that I feel, because if not, I'm going to go back into those settings where I don't belong and feel those emotional things, knowing something is happening. But because I didn't act on what I needed to act on, which is leaving, then I stay stuck, and I have to deal with that emotional thing. So it's not about nobody but you. You had your time to be selfish. You had your time, like, it's so many things I want to say, bro. And I feel like it's a I don't know how to say that. It's like, I want to say these things because it's very true, but then again, I don't want to say these things because it doesn't matter. It don't matter no more, because I have raised myself, and I've become this grand version of me. Of course, I have some of the parts that I was taught, like, as a child, but this version of myself was created by God. You feel what I'm saying? It was created through the communion that I chose to have with God. It don't have nothing to do with my people. So, like, when I want to get into certain things, I speak about it in a way where it's like, it's not about you. It's never been about you. When you decided to have kids, it wasn't about you. The whole shit shifted. And so I had to learn how to love myself. I had to learn how to be emotionally intelligent and available to myself. You feel me? But all in all, I can't complain, bro. Like, I go and look at all the ways that things are connected, bro. Like, my grandma is who it started with. You feel me? It could have started with my great grandma, but I don't know much about her. All I know is that she was a Gemini. You feel me? And that, certain things run in our family line according to her. And so, starting with my grandma, I came into my grandma's life when at a different stage in her life, I should say. You feel me? It wasn't she wasn't responsible for me. And that's one thing, like, when it comes to the generations, it's meant to be for the elders to take care of the children, but it's not so you can just forget your responsibilities. It's so that generation can teach the younger generation what it means to live, because they've been here longer. But my grandma probably wasn't the best to my mom. You feel me? And it's not even probably. My grandma was a Capricorn. Like, she was straight the fuck up. Like, she ain't playing no games about nothing. And she'll tell you the truth, even if it's kind of vindictive. And that is the part that, I don't agree with. Okay, you gonna speak your truth. You gonna say what you gotta say. But don't be like, I'm gonna just say this because I know it's gonna hurt your feelings. You feel me? And, that's something that my mom wasn't able to unpack. She felt like she had to take care of us herself. And so she did. She did it for a long time. Of course, there were many different men in the equation, but we'll get into this whole story, bro. Like, I'm gonna unpack it for real. But on this story, it's like my grandma, she didn't have that, you know, male presence in her life either. Or maybe she did, very sparingly. Who knows? But my grandma was in her masculine version a lot. Okay. She was in her masculine, version a lot. And so what she did is, it's funny. I seen this Tony Robbins video, and this lady was talking about how she's in her masculinity, like she's more masculine and than feminine, and she wants a feminine man. She looks for that. She looks for feminine men. And it's because she has a certain level of control. Until Tony Robbins came and stood next to her, and she just kind of, cracked, cause she not used to having a real male presence in her life, in her face. So she didn't know what to say. She was stuttering and stumbling over her words and shit. But that was my grandma. She decided that feminine men, she could, control. She could do what she wanted to do with them. You feel what I'm saying? And so that's what she got. And it's so deep because my grandpa and my grandma never really had no type of closeness to them. And I would ask when I was young, I'll be like, why they sleep in separate rooms? Like, why you don't never see them kiss or hug or none of that? You feel me? But, like, it just wasn't that. You feel me? And so that's just my vision. That was just my vision. I that's what I seen. And excuse me for trying to get my thoughts together, but that's who my grandma was. And she had addictions. Like, she didn't have no drug addictions, but she had like sticky fingers. You feel what I'm saying? Like, she couldn't stop. She was a kleptomaniac. She couldn't stop stealing. You feel me? She just had to touch it. And I remember one time she did it while we was all together. Like, me and my brothers and my mom was there with her when she did that. My mom got so mad and like just took us, and we didn't see grandma for a long time, bro. Like, that was crazy. But I didn't know that was what was happening then until way later, till she went to jail for it. You feel me? So it's crucial, man. Like, I'm really breaking down how I broke the curse. How, what was the origin, so we could be able to peep this shit when it's going on, when it's happening, and we could tell other people. You get me? It's gonna be a lot of people mad at me, bro. A lot. And I don't care. Sue me, bitch. In real life. Because I ain't saying no names. I'm speaking about people that were actually in my life, that I actually took account of and observed. And now I'm speaking about what I've seen. And if it's something wrong, then. But you can't say nothing now because you done fucked up so bad over here, you can't come back. So I don't care. Like I said, sue me. But rest in love to my grandma, bro. Nobody's perfect. Ever. And I don't treat people like that. But if you do something and it's wrong, and you definitely know it, because you have some sort, it's something up there that be like, do good, and you just be like, no, fuck you. You feel me? Like, so I don't be having sympathy. I don't give a fuck about what you're going through or what you got going. You feel me? Fix that shit yourself. Because honestly, if I was in the same position as some of these people, that I'm witnessing right now as we motherfucking speak. You feel me? So honestly, it's just, we about to get into a part 2. I'm gonna just say that. All right. I love you for now. Be well, and don't be afraid. Unpack those things that you think, you know, like you feel like you should look into that a little bit more. Ask your elders questions. I wasn't able to ask my grandma as many questions as I wanted to, and some of the questions I did ask her, she lied about, or she hesitated about. You feel me? So it is what it is. I love you.